Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You're all loved, celebrated, and appreciated. So today, there is a question that keeps going in the mind of a lot of people, even of course melanated people, even after they've believed that we were powerful people, we were people who had civilization before the war. The other civilizations came in after us. Of course, with the European civilization is the youngest of all civilization, and that's why it's still moving up until this time. Now, if we were as that powerful as the history books portrays, and if we're as powerful as some Pan-Africanists talk about, why is it that we are in the state we are today, that we're like people who are defeated, we're like captured people, we're like people who was never connected to source? Why are we the way we are? That we were so easily captured, we were so easily taken into slavery. And when we talk about this, all will be like, it's because there are people amongst us who walked with the enemy. Before people started conceiving the ideas of working with enemy to selling a brother, we were one people. There was unity. Now, when I emphasize on unity, I am not joking. You see me here always telling you, someone who look like you somewhere and you see is a brother. That unity has to be forged again. It's not just a unity of, okay, now I love you, now you have become my brother, okay, let's forgive each other, okay, let's continue. It's beyond words. What we broke in the past, we have to reshuffle them. What we scattered, we have to gather to become that being that we were, that was loved, feared, and reverenced by other beings before this time. So there was a highest wisdom that we lost. There was a unity, this forging. We were together, we were people. That of course is the truth, that we knew everything. We were people that were seen as gods, all right, in the flesh, all right. But something happened that we became what we are today, and that's what I want us to take a look at. Because when I keep saying this, that this battle is beyond the physical, this battle is not something of today or so many years ago. It's been a long time coming. The forces that is all in for our destruction is not the forces that we can reckon with physically. Alright, it's not just the forces that, okay, the Europeans came and did this to us, or white people did that. It's beyond this. It's beyond this, and it's been a long time. So I want us to look into this and we'll take it up from there.
If ancient black people were really gods on earth, then how did we lose everything to the colonizers? This is the most miseducated discussion in black history. To fully comprehend the truth about this, you just gotta know the concept of highest wisdom. So what's highest wisdom? Exactly what it sounds like, manifesting the highest ability that one knows how to produce. A great example is actually superheroes. Cyclops from the X-Men, for example. If he manifests his highest wisdom, then what he'll do is shoot a laser beam out of his eyeballs. That's because it's the most powerful thing he physically knows how to do. Storm, she'll manipulate the weather because that's her highest wisdom. Nightcrawler, he'll vanish into thin air. Magneto, y'all know he'll control metal objects and start doing some crazy stuff. Ryu from the Street Fighter, he'll hit you with the Hadouken! Now let's get back to real life. Let's take a look at a colony of ants. If they get flooded out by water, what they'll do is create a floating bridge that's made out of ants in order to save their babies. And y'all can drop more examples in the comments if you know them, but now let's talk about the highest wisdom of black people. When we walked this earth as gods who lived for thousands of years, we had many majestic wisdoms and abilities. Those wisdoms and abilities were normal to us back then, but today we'd say that these are supernatural powers or something like that. Such as like speaking with our minds, moving things with our minds, teleporting, invisibility, breathing underwater, and way more than that. But bigger and better than all those things, the highest wisdom that we manifested was becoming one unified mind and heart. And that unified mind and heart we all shared in a state of existence that we called divine unity. Or in the ancient language, you could use the word selekano, which means covenant. And only people with the ether in their body can do this. That's why the ether inside of us is also called the Ark of the Covenant. This is what makes it possible for us to unite with all other ether beings, aka black people, in existence. Now just imagine being everybody on earth at the same time. And at the same time, you're still individually yourself. And it's not chaotic or confusing, it's just unexplainable oneness. Oneness and peace that surpasses understanding. You just gotta experience it to know it. Having your own unique experiences while sharing everyone else's experience simultaneously, because in truth, you and all other people are one and the same person. That's what happens when we manifest our highest wisdom as God's walking this earth, which we will do again. And yes, the spirits and black people that you see walking the earth today as crackheads, junkies, jailbirds, gangsters, pimps, prostitutes, strippers, transgenders, murderers, and just normal professionals, students, workers, and everyday black folks, these same exact spirits were at one time long-lived gods who all loved each other, never misunderstood each other, never killed each other or harmed animals in any way, connected with our soulmates as teenagers and never separated until death. And we were so advanced that we all began mastering subquantum kinetics at the age of 7 by learning the first 7,000 names of the attributes that make up the ether, as well as the plants and animals that's associated with each attribute. And when we manifested our highest wisdom, every black person on earth became one person, while still remaining in our own individual bodies in divine unity with every other person on the planet. That's our highest wisdom. This is the mandatory point that we gotta know before talking about how we ended up where we are. You can't talk about that if you don't know about divine unity, the ancient covenant, Selekano. Forget everything else that people confuse this with, because it got nothing to do with slavery. It was way before that. It got nothing to do with the Anunnaki, nothing to do with Atlantis, nothing to do with Lemuria, nothing to do with the Nephilim, no intergalactic wars, no extraterrestrials, nothing to do with Moses, Yeshua, Rama, Quetzalcoatl, Muhammad, none of these new age stuffs and more stuffs. It's all about the covenant of divine unity, because our downfall all began with us making a conscious decision to temporarily suspend the covenant of divine unity with each other. That's it. That's literally it. That's how long-lived gods deteriorated into short-lived men and women over time, by forsaking the highest wisdom of the divine dominant black nation so that non-black nations could manifest and have a chance to rule the earth, at least until it's time for us to take it back.
Your Majesties, as the clip was playing, you notice I was smiling. When he said New Age, my mind went back to some of your comments. Oh, this is New Age teaching, this is New Age whatever. Oh, Abigail, you're being captured by the New Age teachers. I hope you know Jesus and Muhammad is New Age. I hope you know that. Because before Jesus and Muhammad, the world was living. Alright? People were existing, coming and going. There was life, full life. I hope you understand that. So you strong believer of Jesus and Muhammad, you are believing New Age teaching. So when I talk here, I don't just talk about New Age teachings like believing in Jesus or Muhammad. I'm talking about teachings before Jesus or Muhammad. And I know some serious believers will come tell me, before Abraham was, I am. I'm not even talking about Abraham. All right. Now, when you follow the teachings of Dr. Ben closely, when I say you follow him, like you study in depth of his discoveries and everything, you understand what I am saying. So don't even go there. Don't go there. Don't go quote any part of the Bible for me. All right, because they are New Age teachings. All right. So he talked about divine unity, and it pushes my mind to self-hate that we are experiencing today. Like, we don't see what we possess as good enough to build upon. All right. Now, anything part of us, we look at it as demonic. So we had cut ourselves from this unity for a very long time. And that's why we could harbor hate in our hearts against a brother. You heard him mention of the ether being. It's only an ether being that will see an ether being and, okay, this is an ether being. I have to love this being as I love myself, because this being possess something that I also have. So by the time we get united in love and unity, we can do things that the world can only be in awe of. Love. You see, any community that love is not present, I'm not talking about these eye service things that people do these days. Oh, my brother in Christ, my brother in the Lord, my brother in this, I love this one. I'm not talking of that. Genuine, sincere love. That love that can make you even have the thought of giving up your life for the other one to be alive. It's difficult. It's so difficult. It's easier said than done now. Why has things become this way? Before now, it wasn't like this. Before now, we see a fellow ether being as part of us, as part of the entity, as part of the source that we all came from. But now, reverse is the case. We are only seeking our own self-glorification right now. Okay, self-glorification. We don't even think about, it's even difficult for people to think about the community, the good of the community nowadays. And that's why we are birthing leaders that are wicked. Leaders that are stingy leaders, wicked leaders, greedy leaders. So the moment we have people like this, the enemy can easily use them to conquer us. And this is how our life have been for a long time up until now. For a long time up until now. Now, when you talk about the highest wisdom, okay, I think we still need to flog this issue of self-hate. Because the white man came and told you that those practices, those things you practice are not good. They are demonic. You believe the white man. You throw away your practices. You throw away your traditions, the good ones, and begin to follow the white man's idea for your life. Tell me, by day we are pulling apart like it was broken from the beginning, and we keep dividing each other. We keep just imagine how we have destroyed ourselves. We've shattered ourselves so much that it takes time for us to come together. It takes time for this oneness, this whole striving to be united, to become one. It's going to take time. But is it impossible? No. Because from the beginning, we were one people. We were people who could stand up and give up our life for a brother to live. We were people who could stand up and say, okay, I'm going to be the one that will sacrifice myself so that other people can survive. We were people that were that way. So when you begin to think, you claim that the black people were like gods, the black people were so powerful, they had knowledge that the world could not contend with. Why is it that the black people have become the most, I'm looking for the word for it, the meaning word for it, because that's the level we are right now. We don't get respected anymore. Because they feel that, okay, what we're after is just fame and power. They come, okay, come join my, what do you call it? My industry. I'm going to make you popular. And that's how they buy the souls of our brothers and sisters. Oh, you just go get popular, get the money, and you sell your soul to them. Alright? This is what we have become now. We've become instruments. We become things that people now use for their own glorification. We become things that people use. We become ladders. Alright? We become ladders to help people go to the top. And we are under there. Why is this the way it is? Because we have cut ourselves from the source. We have cut ourselves from the source. And for us to unite, we have to hold on to this. There are attributes that we have to, there are practices that we have to start, getting so used to if we want to be united and regain our power as a people. Love. We have to love sincerely from our hearts. Love our fellow brothers and sisters wherever we find ourselves. Alright? That is number one. That is number one. Because we think we are so different. As a melanated, as a nine ether being, we think we are so different. We think we are so far away from another. And that's why we keep going far. So the idea of hurting a brother, the idea of doing evil to one another, the idea is because we cut off from divine unity. We cut off from divine unity. And that's why it's so difficult for us to see a brother sincerely from our heart. And the moment we cut off from divine unity and the highest wisdom, we began to act like the lowest beings, the lower being, those we were above. We started acting even lower than those we were above before. Look at our communities these days. A lot of things happen. We do things, abominable things to one another. And we think it's normal. And for us to even understand this, we see that iota of connection to divinity, of connection to our origin as Black people. The high time we begin to throw away these Eurocentric practices that we call religious practices. Alright? They came with their own tradition and they told you your tradition is bad. You throw away your tradition and accepted their own. And you don't know that the more you are doing that, you are cutting yourself, you are moving further from the source. You are going backward from the source. So this is the reason we have cut off from the source, we have cut off from highest wisdom, we have cut off from divine unity, and that is why we look at what we do as evil. We look at what we do as evil, we call our way of life demonic, and we embrace things that are not of us. What do you think? Leave your comments and sort there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always your majesties. Bye for now.